So we're doing an installation in Milan during Design Week, and it's called Sacrosanct. We're going to have like products from Lori. I love his African cork stools. We're going to have Milan2019 from the Ninevites, Paul from the Urban Native. She has the best like little chair, like it's a tab chair, and it's like perfectly round, and it's the most comfortable chair in the world, and it's called the Oromo chair, and it's inspired by like African hairstyles. Bunolo from Lula's clan, who was part of Nando's Hot Tank Designer. She did a really cool geometric shaped, fun, whimsical pattern that we've upholstered Paul's chair with. Candace from Modern Gesture. Candace and I were both finalists in the Nando's Hot Tank Designer competition, and Candace has adapted her light, which is like inspired by Ndebele jewelry, and she's adapted that into mirrors. I'm from the Eastern Cape. When I go back in my memory box, that's the images of the Eastern Cape are the first thing that come up in my mind. Like the hut, when we go to my grandmother's house. As I got older, I remember the hut went from being perfectly round, like a hut, but then it suddenly started expanding sideways. As their needs grew, maybe as the family expanded, maybe as they started getting access to more things, like, oh, now we can actually have a kitchen. You know, like we don't have to do everything in this one space. The homestead had to reflect their needs. So it had to adapt to fit their needs. So in my conversations with Tracy, when I told her that I want to build a house, she was like, okay, now think about the server. Think about that form. Think about those shapes. It just made so much sense to me. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. Like the server can be the house, because once I take the server and we make it a life-size thing, it then becomes exactly what my grandmother's home evolved into. After the show, we really would love to find a home for the installation so that people who aren't able to visit Milan can also see